Well, good morning, Ed. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Good to see you. Happy New Year. Welcome back.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Start over.
Here we go again.
We're back at it. Let's do it.
That's right.
Hey, I just had a couple of automotive industry news things, little topics here that I thought we could talk about and maybe, discuss it a little bit here. So the first thing here is Mazda, the revolutionary rotary engine. Who hasn't heard of
The Wankel?
the rotary engine? I remember in the 80s, the little Mazda RX-7s, those things were so popular, the little rocket ships.
My wife had one.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Was it a 5-speed? Probably, because Liz, she loves to drive
I think it was
stick.
a stick, yeah.
I bet you it was.
It's been a while ago.
Oh, yeah. Cool little cars. Well, anyway, in the news, it's here, Mazda brings back the rotary engine in electric vehicle. But what they're doing is they're building a hybrid.
Oh, here we are again.
Here we are, hybrids, right? Because internal combustion engines are going to be with us
But that's not
for
a
while.
true EV, is it?
No, because it's gas and electric. It's a hybrid,
Okay.
right? They're popular.
Right.
Low emissions. They get great gas mileage. Good all around cars. But Mazda has brought back their rotary engine. It says here, it turned to a range extending generator for its MX-30 electric SUV. So they're doing it as a hybrid. And Mazda states, obviously, their rotary engine is typically a better power to weight ratio than a piston engine and runs more smoothly, making it technically ideal for the application where it can operate at a consistent speed, which makes sense, being the hybrid. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was pretty neat, so I wanted to share that.
That is interesting. When you mentioned the range extending aspect, I saw a report this morning on the local news down in San Diego. They were, they always have a segment on new cars, and they'll bring in and showcase a vehicle that's
Right.
on the showroom floors.
Right.
And they had a Hyundai, and it was a hybrid. And you mentioned range extending, and this report was talking about, I believe the vehicle could go 580 miles, and it was also a hybrid.
Wow.
So I'm assuming they're saying 580 miles on a tank of gas is what they meant by that.
Right.
And because, my Jeep, I'm getting 320 on a tank, average.
Right.
So,
But that's lifted with big wheels, too, so that's pretty decent.
Yeah. And so, 580 with a hybrid, ICE engine, electric vehicle, 580, that's quite a long ways to go on, that tank of gas in that vehicle.
Definitely.
So it sounds like the same concept is being employed here by Mazda that you're talking about when you say range extending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they're looking at the weight ratios and all that. So that's very interesting.
That's neat that you brought that up, because with the big influx of the larger electric SUVs, we have trucks now, and they're pushing SUVs, and they're getting bigger than what we've normally seen out of the EV market, right?
Right.
So here's another automotive-related topic. Fed official concerned that electric vehicles might be getting too heavy for safety. So it looks like the National Transportation and Safety Board, he came out and he's just basically stating that, the electric vehicles, especially the trucks and SUVs, that's what he's talking about here. Mm-hmm. They're getting larger, they're getting more powerful, perhaps too much weight on these vehicles. I think one in particular that
the battery pack's kind of heavy, huh?
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they're big. The battery pack's like, here it says.
Well, those are tow vehicles as well, right? Aren't they designed to tow a trailer?
Yeah, because obviously Ford has their F-150 Lightning, and that's one of the vehicles that they had mentioned in this report. Great company. Love Ford trucks. I've had Ford trucks all my life. I don't have an EV pickup, but this is saying the Ford F-150 Lightning pickup weighs 2,000 to 3,000 pounds more than the ICE engine, the internal combustion engine. So that's a concern of this guy's, saying that, hey, maybe they're getting
in a collision.
That's what
It's a
he's
lot of
worried
mass
about.
that's going forward in a collision.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, my concern about owning a tow vehicle that's all electric is, well, number one, the range, of course. Number two, where do you charge? So you have to plan that out in your
Right.
travel if you're
Right.
going, say, on a camping trip or whatever. And then how long does it take to charge that? So you have to take that into consideration on your
Definitely.
itinerary.
I think that's been one of the hindrances of more of an EV market, with consumers. Gas engine, it's easy. There's gas stations on every corner out there, right? You don't think twice about driving to Vegas or cross country, going out to Arizona, anywhere. But that's one of the hiccups, I'll say, with EVs is a lot of people aren't sure of, the charging stations. And in our state, we've talked about this on past podcasts where, there's only a certain amount. I know they're trying to get better here in our state with charging stations, but that's people's concern. Where are they? How long does it take?
Yeah, the time is a big consideration.
Because if you gotta stop your trip and you gotta wait an hour, I think some of them still can take up to an hour, maybe even longer. So that's a concern when you're trying to do a road trip. But yeah, he was saying that the one that they were kind of worried about on weight is GMC has their Hummer. They've done the all electric, and it's very impressive. I mean, the acceleration, the 0 to 60 times are faster than some of the sports cars that are out there.
Well, I think the concept of an electric vehicle is a great concept. If you apply it to a metropolitan area, high density,
Yeah.
and you have short trips to your employer, to the store, and you don't need to worry about a 5-6 hour road trip,
Right.
or even or maybe it's a good commuter vehicle here in Southern California from an hour away to your destination.
Right. Makes sense.
So that makes sense. Lowering emissions and all that, but that's a whole other topic about all of the greenhouse gases that go into manufacturing that, which is far more than an internal combustion engine.
Definitely.
But that's a different conversation. And so, from that perspective, with high density living, you can lower the emissions off the tailpipe with all these EVs across that segment, and then you've got these. What are they? Public corporations that are like Sandag down in San Diego that is managing the transportation system down there. The rail system, the trolley.
Right.
And they have been proposing, and they're really pushing now. It's been a couple of years in the making. They want to implement a mileage tax on every vehicle on the freeway in the county of San Diego to pay for high-speed rail and trolley and all that. And only a very small percentage of the population uses it. And so what the detractors are saying is they believe that Sandag would like to make it so expensive for you to put miles on your vehicle that you'll make a lifestyle change as a result of the cost that you're incurring over a year or two. And you'll get rid of your car.
Yeah.
And then you'll force you
that.
into public transportation. And so, those are other issues. So, I mean, how much money you're saving with an electric vehicle versus gas, that's your personal computation. But then you're going to be adding on the cost of all the fees for the mileage you put on that vehicle in San Diego. And so there's a lot of different agendas that are being brought to the table nowadays. And, boy, there's going to have to be some wise decision-making going forward.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've heard about that. It's been going on for a while now, huh?
They've been talking about it. They've been slowly introducing it to the public, getting them used to the idea that, while your registration in California has doubled, tripled in some instances, right?
Yeah. gas as well as EVs.
I'll talk about just DMV registrations.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I'm saying. The automotive registrations.
Yeah, and now they want to do
both.
this tax on a per mileage basis, and then so you got people that are commuting from a bedroom community an hour down. They're going to be paying through the nose. This thing goes through.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of commuters, up in Temecula Valley that every day they're on that freeway going down to San Diego, and then people coming from Orange County into San Diego. So
Right.
yeah, it's going to affect a lot of households. Definitely.
A lot of households. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's just some industry news that I had. So I appreciate your time.
Yeah, that was interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, looking forward to our next sit down.
Sounds good.